One of our regular features here on the cable channel is a roundtable with leading members of the business and consumer press to get their views of the cable business. For this session, we were joined by reporters from the Wall Street Journal, Business Week, and USA Today. From our studio overlooking Times Square, here's our moderator, Bob Gold.
It seems to me that the business model of the cable industry, of the cable operator, of being the exclusive domain to deliver a multi-channel video environment is really being challenged by what's happening on the web. What do you think is going on with all this video delivery direct on IP?
It's certainly interesting. I mean, it's worth all the attention being paid to it because something's happening here and it could at some point develop into something important. I don't think we're there yet, but there's a lot happening there. We absolutely should pay attention to it.
And it will continue to happen, I think, and I think 5 years from now it's going to be a much different world, and web-based content is going to be playing a much larger role than it is now, but it's not going to be an '07 or '08 phenomenon. It's going to take a long time. I think the technology is moving. I think that the programmers are getting comfortable with it, and as with a lot of other technological innovation, you have to wait for the market to catch up to it.
There is actually already some cannibalization that you're seeing away from television. People are watching a lot more online. It's not the same thing as we think of as television. Like, it's not the entire show. It's more the 2 or 3 or 4 minute clips on YouTube. But I do think that that's an indication that people are willing to watch things online versus this idea I think that we had maybe like a year or 2 years ago, which was that no, people aren't going to really watch this and they're not really going to spend their time watching video online. And so the biggest issue for the cable companies is that you're not the distribution play that you used to be, and so you need to try and figure out what you're going to be, because that's what the internet does. It flattens out distribution and lets anybody be a distributor.
I think that we still have a way to go, though, before you have channels, certainly channels that want to appeal to more than a very, very narrow niche audience, saying to a cable operator, I don't need you anymore. I can go straight to the web. I think it'll be several years before that happens.
And also, you need the technology which is going to move this content to the TV set, because as long as people are watching on the web, it's a much different experience. People only want the sort of bite-sized content. I think some of the most interesting thing that's happening right now is all the technology companies that are trying to figure out ways to migrate the content to the TV set.
I think that's really fascinating, but I'm not convinced, because the tech companies are actually doing more than that. They are trying to figure out how you move it from the TV, but they're also trying to figure out how you can do more on the computer itself. So you have stuff from this new company called Juiced, which is being backed by the guys from Skype who did the Skype voice over IP calls, and they've actually figured out how to make like a 1 hour video actually look really good, because what they're doing is they're massively distributing it over file sharing, and so people are sharing that load. And so it actually looks pretty good.
I fully believe that Juiced has every intention of taking that content to the TV set. I mean, right now they're talking about it, an online model, and if you look at what they're showing right now, it's online. But I mean, given the background of who's behind it, I think they've disrupted everything. They disrupted the phone business. They've disrupted the music business. They're going after the TV business.
I think one other thing we've got to keep in mind is that at the same time that people on the web are trying to catch up with the quality of broadcast TV, consumers are going to HD TV. And so the question isn't simply how do we get the video from the computer to the TV set, but how's it going to look on an HD TV set?
Let me take a step from that. 2009, is America ready for an all-digital television environment?
No. No. What did I see a statistic recently? Most people who have an HD TV set don't have HD TV service. They're just not aware that.
I think that was one of my stories, actually.
Actually, I think it's Bruce Lightman.
But I quoted him.
It's just amazing. People now, they want a new TV set. They go into the store, and this is what we've got. So they get it, and it's still a complicated process.
For the cable operator, they're feeling that being able to down-convert digital signals and deliver them in an analog spectrum to all the homes that have the older television sets that don't want set-top boxes, that's going to be a strategic advantage of delivering a basic analog lineup to customers who don't want to upgrade their television sets to be able to get a digital broadcast. What's your thoughts about that?
I think the cable companies are breaking their neck to try to do kind of exactly the opposite of that. I mean, they need to reclaim that analog spectrum too. They're facing bandwidth issues, and the best way to reclaim the spectrum is to convert go from analog to digital. So I think there probably is a little bit of that, but I also think that they're looking at all sorts of ways to be able to add more HD channels, because HD is really going to be where the competition plays out, especially between the cable operators and the satellite guys.
But Bob has a point, though, that even most cable subscribers don't have a set-top box. They don't want a set-top box. And so it is a strategic advantage for them to be able to say that if you continue to get your television through us, as opposed to satellite, as opposed to Verizon, you won't need a set-top box. You can still plug it into your analog TV set. But the problem is, as you pointed out, that's at war with their need to get HD TV, spectrum for HD TV.